A Tuesday in October 1958, Indianapolis, 7:43 p.m. Marian has cleared the dinner dishes. Her husband is in the living room with the paper. Her children are in bed. The kitchen is quiet. She goes upstairs. She will be there for 45 minutes. Not because she has a beauty routine, because she has a system, and the system runs every night in the same order for the same reasons and takes exactly 45 minutes. In the morning, she will be ready in 10 things, in the order she did them. The last one is not something she did at all. It is the reason everything else worked. Step 2 is a 39-cent jar with a camphor smell and a second cloth that most women did not know about, the half of the method that turns a cleanse into an overnight treatment. Step 7 is 35 cents, a pair of cotton gloves and no hand cream required in the morning. Let's begin. Step 1. 7:43 p.m. The first thing Marian does when she enters the bedroom is remove her pin curls. She has worn them all day, set that morning in under 12 minutes, covered by a cotton scarf while she ran errands and came and went. By 7 in the evening, the curls have been setting for 10 hours. The hair remembers the shape. She does not brush them out immediately. This is the step most women got wrong. A pin curl brushed out the moment the pin comes out springs back toward the curl. The memory of the shape is still active. Marian unclips the full set, runs her fingers loosely through to separate, and then leaves them alone. 10 minutes. The curl cools and relaxes at its own pace. Brushing into a relaxed curl produces a wave. Brushing into an active one produces frizz. The brush is boar bristle, natural, not synthetic. It cost $1.75 at Kresge's in 1954. She still has it in 1965. Synthetic bristle moves hair. Boar bristle engages the shaft and carries sebum produced by the scalp. The oil the scalp generates every day regardless of what product is applied, from the roots where it accumulates down to the lengths where it is needed. Conditioning without a product, using what the body already makes. The conditioner category was later invented in part to solve the problem of dry ends. Boar bristle had been solving it since before the category existed. The technique Marian's mother had passed to her was 50 strokes, bent forward at the waist, brushing from the nape forward toward the face, gravity assisting the stroke. Then 50 strokes upright, 100 strokes that took 8 minutes and left the hair with a surface no product at the drugstore could replicate. The brush cost $1.75 and lasted 11 years. Boar bristle brushes fell out of common use as synthetic versions became cheaper through the 1960s. The conditioner industry charged for what the brush had done for free. Step 2, 7:58 p.m. The small blue jar of Noxzema on the bathroom shelf cost 39 cents and smelled of camphor and eucalyptus, a smell that, for anyone who grew up in a house that kept it, arrives before the memory does. Marian applied it before she did anything else to her face, before touching water, before addressing the eye makeup. Cold cream first on everything, applied with her fingertips in slow circles, the warmth of the hands softening it, the cream lifting everything the day had deposited on the surface of the skin. The two-cloth method, one cloth wrung out in warm water. This removes. The cream has loosened the day, the powder, the makeup, whatever the air has added, and the warm cloth lifts it cleanly without friction. No pulling, no scrubbing, the warmth and the cream together. But the second cloth is the one that mattered, wrung out in cold water, pressed flat against the face immediately after the first cloth came away, held there for 30 seconds. No product, just cold. The warm cloth opens, the cold cloth closes. A face cleansed without the second step is a face left open, pores dilated, surface reactive, more likely to lose moisture overnight and show it by morning. She never owned a makeup remover wipe. She was not missing one. Step 3, 8:10 p.m. She did not stop at her jawline. This is the detail that disappears from the record when women talk about vintage beauty. The jaw was not a boundary. Whatever Marian applied to her face continued below it, down the neck, and across the décolletage in one unbroken pass. But the direction mattered specifically. On the face, upward and outward, working against gravity. On the neck, always downward, only downward. The platysma is the thin, flat muscle that runs from the lower jaw to the collarbone, just beneath the skin of the neck. Repeated friction applied upward against this muscle trains it to accommodate the pull, over time producing the fold at the jaw that upward strokes were supposedly fighting. Downward strokes maintain the muscle's natural angle. Marian had been told this rule at 16 by her mother, who had been told it by hers. Neither of them had a name for the muscle they were protecting. The rule was sufficient. Whatever cream remained on Marian's fingertips continued to the neck. No separate product. The neck was the face, continued, with a different rule. I tested the two-cloth method for 3 weeks while writing this. I had been doing the first cloth for years without knowing there was a second one. Before step 4, if your mother or grandmother had a vanity drawer with cotton gloves or a blue jar on the shelf, hit subscribe. This channel was made for exactly that cabinet. Step 4, 8:22 p.m. Marian had been redirected by her mother the first time she reached for the wrong finger. She was 12, getting ready for a school recital, reaching for her index finger the way she had watched her mother reach, and her mother's hand came around and moved hers to the right one. The ring finger. The skin around the eye is approximately a quarter of the thickness of the skin on the cheek. The ring finger is the only finger with significantly limited independent movement. Its tendon structure means the brain cannot instruct it to press with the same force as the index or middle. It applies less pressure by nature, not by intention. You cannot accidentally press too hard with it the way you can with any other. The motion is tapping along the orbital bone, the hard curve of the socket beneath and around the eye. From the inner corner to the outer and back. Follow the bone, not across the soft tissue. Always inward and under, not outward toward the temple. Pulling outward stretches tissue over time. Tapping inward follows the direction the lymphatic system drains. No special eye cream. Whatever remained on the fingertip from the cold cream was sufficient. The same 39-cent jar carried forward on one finger in a specific direction. Modern eye creams are sold at $40 to $100 per jar specifically for this area. The orbital bone is not changed. The ring finger costs nothing. 8:31 p.m. The first 4 steps were done to her face and hair. Warm cream, cold cloth, a specific finger, a specific direction. Active, hands-on. What comes next is different. Not treatments. Investments, things she would set in motion and then leave alone. The pin curls would work while she finished the evening. The gloves would work while she slept. She just had to start them. Step 5, 8:34 p.m. The reset took 11 minutes. Marian had been doing it since she was 18 and had long stopped thinking about the mechanics. The direction of each curl is not arbitrary. The crown was rolled toward the face. This produces forward movement that falls correctly when combed through the next morning. The sides were rolled away from the face. The nape was rolled upward. Each direction produced a specific result, worked out by a long chain of women and passed down without anyone writing it. The clips were 10 cents for a card of 12. Bobby pins were similar. The investment in the next morning's hair was 11 minutes and materials that cost cents. A professional blowout today runs $40 to $70 and requires heat. The pin curl set required neither. It required doing the work the night before, so the morning required nothing. Marian's morning hair routine. Remove the net, unclip, comb through once. 3 minutes. The shape was already there. Step 6, 8:46 p.m. The chamois buffer in the top drawer cost 35 cents at the 5 and dime. Marian had owned it for 4 years. It was still the same buffer. Women in 1958 did not wear nail polish on an ordinary Tuesday. Polish was for Saturdays, for occasions, for someone coming for dinner. On a Tuesday, the nails were buffed, and a buffed nail, done correctly, has a low, natural shine that looks cleaner than bare and does not chip, peel, or require acetone to remove. The trick is the direction. One direction only, never back and forth. Back and forth buffing wears the nail surface unevenly and generates unnecessary friction. 10 strokes in one direction per nail, following the natural curve. The result lasts the week. The orange stick, not scissors. The cuticle is a seal. Cut it and you open a door for bacteria that the cuticle existed to keep closed. Push it back with an orange stick gently. After the nails are slightly warm from buffing, never remove it. The GEL manicure category runs $45 to $65 per appointment and requires chemical removal every 2 to 3 weeks. The chamois buffer cost 35 cents and lasted years. Step 7, 8:52 p.m. The cotton gloves lived in the top drawer of the vanity. White, wrist-length, thin cotton, 35 cents at the 5 and dime. Beside them, a small tin of petroleum jelly, under 25 cents. It lasted most of the year. The trick is timing. Petroleum jelly applied to dry hand seals in dryness. The barrier holds, but it holds in nothing useful. Petroleum jelly applied to hands that are still slightly damp, residual moisture on the surface from the last rinse at the sink, seals in that moisture instead. Marian rinsed her hands, shook them once, and applied the jelly while the surface was still damp. The difference in the morning, hands that feel coated versus hands that feel soft. Then the gloves. She put them on before the pin curl reset, so her hands were occupied. And the treatment was already running during the 11 minutes the set required. No additional time. The gloves kept the jelly on the hands and off the sheets. By morning, her hands needed nothing. No hand cream. The overnight treatment had done what an entire product category was later built to provide, from the other direction, at a higher price. I keep a tin of petroleum jelly in the top drawer now. It has not moved since I put it there. Step 8, 9:00 p.m. The pumice stone beside the bathroom sink cost 15 cents. It had been there since before Marian could remember. Her mother's house had one in the same position, beside the same sink. The trick most women got backwards: dry, not wet. A pumice stone worked over wet skin slides. The surface cannot grip a softened heel and skims across it instead. Dry pumice on a dry heel grips. Every instinct in a bathroom says wet is safer, but the friction that removes a callus requires 2 dry surfaces. The wet method slides. The dry method works. 30 seconds per heel. Then rinse. Then, while the feet were still slightly damp, a small amount of petroleum jelly on both heels and the balls of both feet. The thin cotton socks Marian kept folded in the same drawer as her gloves went on last. By morning, a condition prevented overnight for 15 cents, and a drawer she already had. The foot cream category generates hundreds of millions of dollars in annual sales. The pumice stone cost 15 cents and lasted years if kept dry between uses. Step 9, 9:10 p.m. The last 2 things Marian did before getting into bed were the easiest to overlook, because neither of them required doing anything in the usual sense. She slept on her back because that was how you slept when you had a pin curl set you intended to wake up with. No contact with the pillow. The hair and the skin had the same requirement and the same solution. Side sleepers develop asymmetric facial creasing over time. The side that contacts the pillow accumulates compression lines that the air-facing side does not. Research confirming this has been published in dermatology journals within the last decade. Marian did not know the research. She knew the position. Both problems resolved to the same answer. The second thing, a ceramic bowl of water on top of the radiator. Radiators in Indianapolis in October produce dry heat. Dry air draws moisture from exposed skin over 8 continuous hours, not dramatically, but consistently, the same mechanism as a dry winter day applied while the body is still and the face is uncovered. A ceramic bowl set directly on the radiator surface evaporated slowly through the night, raising the humidity of the room. The humidifier industry developed in the latter half of the 20th century. It solved a problem that a ceramic bowl had been solving since the 1890s. 9:22 p.m. Here's what happened to the 45 minutes. The morning beauty routine, meaning the cleanser and the toner, the eye cream, the serum, the moisturizer, and the primer, is a recent invention. In 1958, Marian woke up, unwrapped the pin curls, splashed cold water on her face, and was downstairs in 8 minutes. The morning required almost nothing because the evening had addressed everything. What dismantled the evening ritual was not a single decision. Working schedules changed through the 1960s and the 1970s. The household morning compressed. 45 minutes of evening preparation became harder to sustain, and the ritual disappeared over roughly 2 decades. As each evening step disappeared, a morning problem appeared in its place. Skin not closed the night before needed a toner. Hair not set needed heat tools and product. Hands not treated needed cream. Eyes not maintained needed caffeine-based serums to address what compression and dry air had done across 8 hours. The industry met each abandoned evening step with a morning product. Each product created a category. Each category required a shelf, a routine, more time, which required more products to achieve in less time what the evening had produced for free. The number of steps in a modern morning routine is roughly inverse to the survival of the evening ritual in that household. Nothing was invented. The work was moved. Step 10 is not a step. It is what Marian had when she got into bed, 8 hours ahead of her. The pin curls setting in the net, the petroleum jelly working inside the gloves, the pumice stone dry beside the sink, the room holding its humidity, the back position preserving what the evening had built, the closed skin, the treated surface, the hair ready to be unwrapped in 3 minutes. She was not going to sleep hoping for something. She was going to sleep with the work already done. 8 hours of return on 45 minutes of preparation. The morning she would wake up to had already been built, at night, in the quiet after dinner, in the particular order her mother had shown her. She did not call it a beauty ritual. She called it getting ready for bed. Marian did not have a beauty routine. She had an evening and the morning she had built inside it. It sold a morning alternative for each evening step that was abandoned. What remains is the product shelf, the morning sequence, the routine that now starts the day. They are the shape of what was given up. It can be reconstructed. It takes 45 minutes and costs almost nothing. Which of these was in your mother's or grandmother's evening? The Noxzema jar, the cotton gloves, the chamois buffer? Leave it in the comments. I will see you in the next one.